Uganda's urban centers generate a lot of bio-waste from homesteads, commercial centers, shops, kiosks, and industrial centers. Over 70% of the waste is biodegradable and poses a major challenge since it is poorly managed. For example, in Kampala only, an estimated 40 to 50% of solid waste is collected, according to the National Environment Management Authority State of Environment Report 2007-2008. The appalling situation largely contributes to the pollution of the environment and proliferation of diseases, clogging of water channels with waste, which then turn into breeding grounds for disease vectors. Often, disputes emerge from neighboring communities on dump sites, complaining of bad smell and leachitis from rotting garbage. While it is a problem on one hand, on the other hand, waste has a great potential to provide alternative economical cooking fuel in form of briquettes and also to contribute to carbon trade.
Whatever we do, we base it on the environment. There is a lot of degradation. We make these briquettes from waste. People cut trees to make charcoal. So we decided to come out with this innovation to save trees. But our main objective is to protect the environment.
50% of all the bio-waste produced in Uganda's urban centers can be recycled into quality briquettes and the rest into quality organic fertilizer for improved farm production. For instance, a medium-sized cottage industry processing 30 tons of bio-waste into briquettes per day saves an equivalent of 1 hectare of tropical forest in the same period. In addition, it has been estimated that the use of fuel briquettes can produce much lower levels of greenhouse gases, specifically 13.8% to 41.7% of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide respectively, compared to charcoal. According to NEMA's State of Environmental Report 2006-2007, Uganda was already wood fuel deficit by 2.7 million cubic meters in 1986. Overdependence on wood fuel was estimated at 93% of the country's total cooking energy, presenting a great threat to Uganda's forestry resources. Since then, the population has doubled and the forest resources have dwindled further by 2.3% per annum. At the moment, the national forest cover is decreasing at a rate of about 2.13% per annum, according to the National Forestry Authority. Consequently, Uganda's overall forest cover dropped from 24% to 18% between 1990 and 2005. Therefore, it is now imperative to optimally utilize waste as a resource to generate multiple values based on the 4 environmental sound principles, the 4R: reduce, reuse, recover, and recycle. Certainly, waste as a resource will provide an answer to some existing environmental and climate change challenges, for instance, reduction of greenhouse gases. The ADAPT Plus program aims at addressing environmental, health, and socio-economic challenges in urban and peri-urban areas through an integrated approach that involve better solid waste management, appropriate energy options, promoting options for waste reduction, promoting reuse of packaging items and recycling of plastics, metallic and glass materials, promoting health and sanitation, conserving existing forestry resources, creating jobs for unemployed youth, promote food security and harness carbon trade opportunities while contributing to climate change adaptation by the poor sections of society using innovative Muzinga clean stoves and briquettes as an appropriate technology. The Muzinga, which locally means beehive, is an innovation promoted by Nature Palace because of its effectiveness, economy, and cleanliness. For example, a single block of waste briquette can provide clean cooking energy of up to 5 hours, making it much more effective and economical than wood charcoal. This is more so in a country where the culture of simmering of food is so prevalent.
We
collect and use waste to make these briquettes. The waste is then burned to ashes using a special designed burner. After, water is poured on top to allow cooling. The ash is then crushed. Clay is one of the mixtures used, but you have to use a recommended measurement as you mix it with ash. Then starch is also added in. This starch is got from cassava, but not necessarily the edible grade. But you can use expired cassava flour or cassava offcuts to make starch. The mixture is then compressed in a special designed molder. And finally here, the briquette is produced.
Recycling of waste into organic manure contributes reducing food insecurity. Currently, agricultural soil in many areas in Uganda is showing a deficit in nutrients, a weak retention of water, poor infiltration and permeability. The biological activity is generally weak, the organic matter is often rare or non-existent. The use of chemicals cannot be adopted as an ideal solution for the majority of the population who happen to be poor families due to their high cost on one hand, and on the other hand because of the negative effects on soil associated with their use over a long time. Organic composite manure contributes to erosion prevention and is strongly linked with improving soil fertility. A fertile soil is generally less susceptible to erosion because the organic matter holds the soil together. In addition, compost used as a ground cover counteracts splash erosion caused by rain. The Adapt Plus program is optimally utilizing waste as a resource to generate multiple values based on the 4 environmental sound principles, the 4R: reduce, reuse, recover, and recycle. The program currently exploring appropriate linkages to carbon markets in order to enhance its sustainability and replication in more parts of the country.